Secrets of Easter Island. New research challenges the idea of a population collapse. Easter Island is presented as an example of how humans have led to their downfall by overexploiting resources and destroying the environment. But new research turns this narrative upside down. According to them, the population of Rapa Nui before contact with Europeans was much smaller and its decline probably never occurred. About 1,000 years ago, a small group of Polynesians traveled thousands of kilometers across the Pacific and settled on an isolated island they called Rapa Nui. Eventually, their numbers increased to unsustainable levels. They cut down all the trees and killed the seabirds and ultimately destroyed their environment, which led to the collapse of their community. When Europeans discovered the island in 1722 and named it Easter Island, only a few thousand people lived there. At least that's the popular narrative from past research and told in books and movies. But new research challenges this idea. According to them, Rapa Nui's population has never reached such a high level that it is unsustainable. The people of Easter Island found ways to cope with the island's severe limitations and maintained a small, stable population for centuries. The description and results of the research were published in Science Advances. Easter Island, called Rapa Nui in the local language, is one of the most isolated places on Earth. The nearest inhabited island in Polynesia is about 2,000 kilometers away, and the mainland, South America, about 3,700 kilometers away. It was discovered by Europeans only in 1722 on Easter Sunday, which is the source of its today's name. Rapa Nui has long been perceived as a place full of puzzles and secrets. It is associated primarily with monumental moai statues, which depict silhouettes of people with large heads. They have become a symbol of the island due to their very characteristic appearance. When the first Europeans arrived on the island, they encountered a local population of around 3,000, although the presence of around 1,000 huge stone statues suggested a much larger labor force in the past. New research turns upside down the current view that its inhabitants devastated their island's resources, causing an ecological catastrophe that doomed them all to extinction. According to analyses conducted by a team of scientists from the Columbia Climate School, the inhabitants of Rapa Nui have developed a sustainable lifestyle and have never experienced any catastrophic population decline. The inhabitants of Easter Island did not have it easy. The island is composed entirely of volcanic rock, but unlike tropical islands such as Hawaii and Tahiti, eruptions stopped here hundreds of thousands of years ago, and the minerals brought by the lava have long since disappeared from the soil. Currently, the island is characterized by highly weathered, impoverished soil that lacks many key nutrients needed to grow crops. The subtropical island is also drier than its tropical counterparts. Moreover, the bottom near the island slopes steeply downwards, meaning that inhabitants had to work harder to obtain fish and seafood than settlers on islands surrounded by shallow waters, lagoons, and reefs. The authors of the new study began by estimating the island's population before the arrival of Europeans. They focused on the so-called rock gardens where the island's inhabitants grew highly nutritious sweet potatoes, the basis of their diet. By artfully arranging layers of different sizes of rocks in their gardens, locals were able to prevent the loss of moisture from the soil and also increase its nutrient content, improving the efficiency of sweet potato crops. This shows that the population could never have been as large as some of the previous estimates, said Dylan Davis of Columbia Climate School, lead author of the paper. Humans were very resilient in the face of limited resources, modifying the environment in ways that helped them, he added. Previous research suggested that rock gardens may have covered 10%. Island surface. Research from 2013 based on satellite images showed that it could have been from 2.5% up to 12.5% in turn. Work from 2017 showed that approximately 19% was intended for crop purposes. Island surface. Based on various assumptions about crop yields and other factors, various studies over the years have suggested that 17,000 or even 25,000 may have lived on Rapa Nui. People. In the new analyses, scientists studied local crop plots and the yields they could obtain for 5 years. Using this data, they trained a series of machine learning models to more accurately detect agricultural fields from satellite imagery, looking for areas with increased soil moisture and nitrogen content, which are key features of local rock gardens. New calculations show that the agricultural plots squeezed between the rocks covered less than 0.5% of the island's area. Assuming these assumptions, if the entire diet was based on sweet potatoes and other agricultural produce, the gardens on the island could feed about 2,000 people. Other studies based on isotopes of various elements found in the bones and teeth of Rapa Nui residents indicated that the island's inhabitants in the past probably obtained 35 to 45%. Your diet from the sea, including fish and seafood and other, smaller sources, would raise the possibility of supporting the island to about 3,000 people, the number observed during the first contact with Europeans. The island's population is now almost 8,000 people, plus about 100,000 tourists annually.